In this video, I'm going to be explaining exactly what Reiki healing is. I'm not going to give you the AI version. It won't be as in-depth as it would be if you were in a class, but it will be a lot more comprehensive than what is out there. Of course, you can go and just Google Reiki, what is it? And you'll find something on Wikipedia that is really general and just incredibly watered down. And then you might also go to a website or a blog dedicated to Reiki healing, and what you'll find is usually something very complex, assuming that you already know what Reiki is. But there doesn't seem to be a lot of information explaining to the average person who might never have heard of it before, or maybe you've heard of it but are still unsure exactly what it is. Well, we're going to cover that topic in this video. So what is Reiki healing? Well, in this video, I am going to give you the definition of Reiki, a brief history. I'm going to tell you how Reiki healing is administered, and stay tuned to the end of the video where I tell you what the laws of Reiki are. These are very, very important to know so that you can determine whether or not an energy healing that's being called Reiki is in fact Reiki. Now, the short version is that Reiki is a technique that uses the laying on of hands to promote stress reduction or relaxation, and this in turn promotes healing. Healing of the mind, healing of the body, the emotions, etc. Reiki is made up of two words, Rei and Ki. The word Rei translates directly to the word universal, but what that really means is God consciousness and source energy, divine wisdom. And this divine wisdom understands each person completely and thoroughly. It knows exactly where their wounds are. It knows exactly how to heal them. It knows that they got to go pick up the dry cleaning later that day. It understands exactly what you need and what you can achieve and receive in that moment in time. Now, the word Ki in Reiki translates to life energy. You might have heard of the Chinese word Qi or the Sanskrit word prana. Ki is the vital life force energy. We need the Ki or Qi to be flowing freely in order to stay in a state of well-being. It's important to note that while Ki or Qi is non-physical, without it, you're dead. So to summarize, when life force energy is guided by God consciousness, we have Reiki. Usui Reiki is the most common form of Reiki used today. It was discovered in Japan by Mikao Usui in the early 1900s and was originally called Usui Reiki Ryoho. And he called it that to distinguish it from the earlier types of Reiki that did exist before him. The earliest recorded history of Reiki is actually referred to as the laying on of hands. We have evidence of the laying on of hands being used in the Bible, and we do consider that Reiki, mostly because there was reference to being able to pass on the healing, and because it was something that came from God down through Jesus. So it wasn't necessarily something that Jesus was doing from his own ego and personality, but that it was a divine energy flowing through Jesus. But the Reiki healing that we talk about, where we are sending energy healing from the hands, where there's no touch involved, those roots come from India. And then they went to Tibet, and then China, and then eventually to Japan. So in order for it to be Reiki, an attunement is required. An attunement is the ability passed on from Reiki master to student. Reiki predominantly flows through your hands, the base of your hands, right in your palm, where we have palm chakras. Chakras are portals in our bodies through which energy flows. However, Reiki can actually also be sent through the eyes. It can also be sent through the voice. And I have felt Reiki before being sent through my feet. Now, I actually haven't even found out if other people have felt this as well, but if you have ever felt Reiki flow through your feet, please write something in the comments. I want to know. I'm not the only one. An important note for all of my massage therapists out there, or anyone who's gotten a massage and they have felt heat coming from the hands of the masseuse, or if you're a masseuse and you like to tell people I do Reiki as well, and you think that because your hands get hot, you're doing Reiki. Here's where it gets a little tricky, because a lot of people who are intending for healing energy to come through them into a recipient or client are sending some healing energy, but they are using their own supply of energy. They are doing a laying on of hands. But what differentiates Reiki from just any old, like, I'm just sending you love, girl, it's not yours. It's divine. It's God moving through you in a way that you are not in control of. You are not trying to control or manipulate. You're not projecting your desires onto that person. You are basically a vessel for divine energy and healing energy. So unless you actually have been attuned to Reiki by a master, you can be sure that you are using your own supply of energy. And that person that you are sending the energy to might end up feeling great after the session, after the massage treatment or whatever. But chances are you will be drained. And if you continue to do that, you'll probably get sick. That's why a lot of masseuses end up retiring early. They end up getting sick. They end up getting drained. Their life ends up in shambles. They end up really just feeling like, I want to do this, but my body won't let me. It's because a lot of times they are using their own chi to heal the person. And they probably get rave reviews, but they can only do it for so long. Now, this is the good part. These are the Reiki laws. And I want you to listen carefully to these laws and make sure that these are things that are applying to the situation where you're finding yourself receiving Reiki from a practitioner. Are you ready? Here they go. Reiki can never cause harm. Reiki never depletes your energy. Reiki is not a religion. And self-treatments are possible. Reiki is not magic. It cannot be manipulated. Well, now that you know what Reiki healing is, the next video that I recommend in this series is, how do you feel after a Reiki healing session? Well, now that you know what Reiki healing is, the next video that I recommend is called, how do you feel after a Reiki healing session? The link for that is down below. I have some exciting news for all of you aspiring Reiki students. I have a free guide, the link is down below, 10 steps to finding the right Reiki teacher. Now, I'm not always available. I don't always teach, and some of you might be far away from me. I like to do in-person classes and retreats. So it's really important, I think, for people to know how to discern whether or not a Reiki teacher or training program is legit. And this really cuts to the chase. It's basically in like a checklist form, so it's very easy to read and comprehend. So please enjoy this. It's a free gift to you. And again, the link is down below. And if you're new to healing and not sure if Reiki is right for you, or if you're an adept healer, but maybe you want to expand and broaden your skills, check out this free quiz that I've created. What kind of healer are you? It's really fun, but it actually gives you some very strong insights as to what your innate healing talents are and what is most likely resonating with you right now. It's something that you can retake years or months after a certain training. You might resonate differently. So go ahead and take a look. The link is down below.